2020, Donald Trump against Joe Biden, Trump won only one of these swing states. Total different picture. He won all 7. He cleaned up. In Wisconsin, 49.6% of voters went for Trump. 48.8% for Harris. The numbers are there. Michigan, he got 49.8%. Pennsylvania, he went over the 50% threshold, 50.4%. North Carolina, the only one he took in 2020, it returned to him in 2024, 51%. Georgia, 50.7%. Arizona, 52%. Look at the gap between himself and Harris in Arizona, 5 percentage points there almost. And then Nevada, 51.6% to 46.7%. So all seven swing states went for Donald Trump. That was a tremendous turnaround compared to the 6 of those 7 that he lost in 2020. He is large and in charge. Nicolo is the word to draw, or is the final word to say from what happened in the U.S. on Tuesday.
Well, I think he secured them bigly. But what would you say contributed to the turnout?
Well, the exit polls don't lie. And what the exit polls show is that, look, people made their minds up. The question that the Trump campaign asked, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? And people are saying, well, we keep being told by the Harris team that the economy is doing well. The economic indicators, the various numbers and the various indices are strong. But when we go to spend, what we need to survive is costing so much more. And they feel that Trump as a businessman, this is very, very crucial. It's not been spoken of enough. Yes. Trump as a businessman, he gives people the impression that he knows how to make businesses thrive and he knows how to create an economy to cause you to have greater purchasing power. And I think that's ultimately what did it for the American people.
All right. Well, thank you so much, George. So the stage is set in Morant Bay as the JLP and PNP, this is right back home here in Jamaica, prepare for a significant by-election. With notable figures lending their support, both parties are rallying behind their candidates in this competitive race. Our reporter Ramon Gordon was on location.
It's a busy day here in Morant Bay. It's a town known for its very storied political history. Well, today is no different as 2 candidates stand poised to fill a recent vacancy left at the municipal level. The JLP's pick, his name is Winston Downey, and he's a political newcomer. We caught up with him earlier, and he says he's unafraid to go up against the PNP's more experienced pick.
It's my first time. I was a bit, not nervous, but overwhelmed by the occasion. And I want to thank all the supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party for being here with me today.
Joining Downey were MP Michelle Charles and former MP Pernell Charles Sr., lending their presence to endorse what the former House Speaker says is the right pick.
Today is a nomination day for a new councillor, and we have a very good young man. She has gone around and introduced himself to the people and said, look, I want to leave what I'm doing and come and help your children, yourself and others. And I think he's doing it well so far.
We asked Downey about his transition from education to politics.
It's a process and it takes time. You have to be out there to understand the nature of what you're getting into.
Do you understand what you're getting yourself into?
Well, basically, I am learning.
Downey's candidacy follows a prolonged call from PNP councillors and supporters for by-election, following the passing of Councillor Rohan Bryan recently. On the other side, the PNP has placed its bets on Rosemary Shaw, a political veteran with a long history in Morant Bay's council.
She is the one. The people have spoken and Rose have always answered.
She's an excellent candidate. She's a hard worker, committed to St. Thomas and more so to the Smart Bay division.
We are confident that she will take home the seat on behalf of the People's National Party and on behalf of the people of the Morant Bay division.
Once a JLP councillor and even the mayor of Morant Bay, Shaw crossed the floor to join the PNP in the 90s after famously parting ways with her party as part of the Western 11, a faction that openly opposed the leadership of Edward Siaga.
This is my popular demand. The people call me. Of the electors on this voters list, 11,300, and I know most of them. So I will be working for the people of Morant Bay Division, and by extension, the people of Eastern St. Thomas.
Shaw's return to the forefront of Morant Bay politics has added much intrigue to this election, which the PNP's General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell sees as a decisive prelude to a win at the next general polls.
In Jamaica now you have a thing named Andrewitis. It is when politicians fool their belly and drop asleep on the road. And when we call the general election, it's going to get a beating in Eastern St. Thomas. Because the People's National Party is back, we are energized, we are together, and we are ready to govern this country for the people of Jamaica.
Ramon Gordon for CVM News.
More to come from CVM News at 7 after this break.
Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSTA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
As a contractor, I never work without a plan.
As an electrician, protection is always a priority.
If you're a small business owner or an independent contractor, there's a plan that gives you protection and coverage. Sagicor Pro Shield. Get up to $1 million critical illness coverage and cover up to 80% of your medical costs for as little as $13,650 every 3 months. Get the protection you need with Sagicor Pro Shield. Call 888-SAGICOR. Conditions apply.
People are going crazy for Popeyes around the world. These lovebirds celebrated their wedding with the Popeyes cake. Others paid $1,000 for our sold-out chicken sandwich. And this guy even shouted out his love for Popeyes. We get it, y'all chicken lovers. Cause we're just as crazy to marinate our chicken for 12 hours and make every piece by hand. That crazy love, we love. Love that chicken from Popeye.
That's it, we're closed.
I am so sorry, we only have 3 patties left.
It's a Jamaican thing but full of flavor. Hey. We set the trend style major. Juicy patty, have a savor. You know the patty nice when we do the juicy patty bone. Patty bone, patty bone, watch it bones, watch it bone. Hot patty, watch it steam. Juicy patty bone, patty bone, patty bone, watch it bones, watch it bone. Juicy patty, ready for we go. From food I keep in our party. Juicy patty, have something for everybody. So patty for nice. Patty bone, watch it bones, watch it bone. Hot patty, watch it steam. Juicy patty bones. Grab your family and do the juicy patty bones.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday, courtesy of...
Your love lives on with life insurance from Sagicor.
Thanks for staying with us. And the Jamaica Labour Party formally nominated Dwayne Smith as its candidate for Northwest St. Andrew, a seat once held by his father for almost 30 years. With this political legacy deeply rooted in the constituency, the younger Smith is hoping the family's enduring influence will be maintained. Our reporter Britannia Witter witnessed the nomination procedure.
Next year, I'm 60-year-old, and my life never turn up so. I since Brogard win bank to bank.
Scenes of jubilation swept through Northwest St. Andrew constituency after the Jamaica Labour Party officially nominated Dwayne Smith as its parliamentary candidate for the constituency previously represented by his father, Derek Smith. Surrounded by scores of supporters and the party officials, Smith, who has been a dominant force in the Chancery Hall division, basked in the support he got.
I'm quite happy, I'm satisfied, I am happy that I finally got the the opportunity to serve at this level. I must thank my party leader and deputy leader and members of the hierarchy of the Jamaica Labour Party who have shown confidence in me.
His nomination comes after the departure of immediate former MP Dr. Nigel Clark, now in the new role as Deputy Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, IMF. Clark became MP for St. Andrew Northwestern in 2018 after beating the PNP's Keisha Hill in the by-election. Many said Smith was overlooked for the position. Now 6 years later, Smith's nomination has been met with excitement as many are eager to see how the young candidate will carry forward his father's legacy. Speaking to journalists outside the Pembroke Hall Restorative Justice Centre after his nomination, he said his first order of business will be road rehabilitation.
My first order of priority is that of roads. Northwest St. Andrew has been suffering from bad roads for a long time. We have done some, we've done a lot, but there's still so much more to do. So my priority is to getting some roads fixed. That is why I'm so eternally grateful for our party leader and Prime Minister and government who initiated this new Spark program. And I heard the minister with responsibility for roads works mention that he's actively trying to get that program started by the end of this calendar year.
Meanwhile, Ron Banks and Carl Marshall are also contesting the seat as independent candidates. Both have served as representatives of the People's National Party. Prime Minister Andrew Holness urged the constituents to vote when the time comes.
I gather there are 2 other candidates who have nominated. So essentially, this is a contested election. So my message to our supporters, to concerned residents, to electors in this constituency, is to take the election serious and come out and cast your ballot in favor of Dwayne Smith.
Britannia Whittle, CVM News.
There's more political news to come, but we have some disaster. Heavy rains brought serious damage to the island in landslides, rockfall and flooding, but the government stands prepared to fund disaster recovery. While speaking at a post-cabinet media briefing on Wednesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says it may take some time, but the government's contingency can bear the brunt. Courtney Lewis observed the proceedings and files this report.
Jamaica may be able to withstand the unexpected financial shocks from damage brought by Tropical Storm Raphael. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says figures are unconfirmed, but Jamaica's disaster recovery framework makes allowances.
Our figures are preliminary, but we expect them to be in the wide region of between $500 million to $1 billion. It is likely that we will be able to fund the damage from this most recent unexpected shock from what we have budgeted.
The Prime Minister spoke to the financial safeguards like the CRIF and catastrophe bond in case of disasters of great magnitude. But the recovery process may take time as climate and procurement remain a major concern.
First, it is the rain events. Many of our roads were not built in the first place with drainage, with the proper camber, and the layers of asphalt sometimes would not have been at the thickness to withstand the wear. It's from the investment phase right through to the contracting, which includes the procurement, to the actual work being done. And that entire administrative bureaucracy that has been put in place needs a second look.
Meanwhile, Works Minister Robert Morgan says the National Works Agency has already begun its assessments to ensure a fast return to normalcy, especially for schools.
We had about 15 roads blocked totally, 10 flooded. Minor road damage was about 2. We had about 7 single lane situations where there was only single lane access. And major, we had about 2 totally impassable roads. This is the first objective, is to create access. And that is usually single lane access, which will give the opportunity of emergency services and residents in general to exit. Particularly as we're seeking to reopen schools.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
As November 22 fast approaches, the Aenon Town Division in Clarendon is buzzing with excitement. The Jamaica Labour Party is currently in power. However, the division is a People's National Party enclave. They will be looking to retake power from the JLP. Trisha Gay Kelly was on location today.
The nomination process for the Aenon Town Division's by-election is complete. The PNP's Delroy Dawson will go up against the JLP's new candidate Suzette Barton. For years, this division has been a PNP stronghold. However, this year, the JLP took control once again. Both candidates are confident, but only one can rule.
The Jamaica Labour Party has won this Clarendon division twice, one of those 2 times being this year in the local government elections. However, their candidate at the time, Marjorie McLeod McFarlane, passed away in September. Despite this, Barton, excited to be nominated, believes she can carry on the legacy.
The programs that she had in place, we were all a part of this dream that turned into her vision. And so it's nothing new to us. So we will carry on her legacy. It's not about me, but it's about the team. That we will be working as a team in the Aenon Town Division to see that her vision, all her visions become a reality.
Barton also has plans to promote inclusivity and encourage the youth. And her supporters, who displayed high levels of excitement, are in solidarity with that mission.
Of course you can do it. She's a leader for a long time. She's a church choir, big leader in our church for the community. She's a teacher. So far she's a teacher, she can do the right thing with it. And we believe in her. And if I'm me alone and the other person I really believe in her, me believe. Yeah, I support her 100%, or 20%, or 30%.
But the PNP is looking to regain its stronghold in the division. Dawson was a councillor for years. His aim, to take the title back.
I am very, very much confident that we will retain this seat, because this is a PNP stronghold, but in the last election, most of our comrades never come out to vote, but they are motivated and ready now to go. Well, we have done our assessment, and from our assessment, we are now going into the field to do the field work, and from there, we will be victorious at the end of November 22nd.
His supporters say it's time for the JLP to go.
Miss JLP now win back in a miss. I will win this time, Dawson, Delroy Dawson.
Why won't they win?
Because missing the work, I've got 20 people them ungrateful. In do a lot for inconsequences because people them ungrateful. Labour right, up and move.
Yeah.
People, national party, but Labour right, up and move the time now. That is country rock. Country rock up.
So who will rule the division? We find out on November 22. Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
Things took a turn in the closely watched Trelawny Southern by-election, which, though not contested by the opposition PNP, saw an independent candidate with a familiar face being nominated. Meanwhile, several JLP executive members flocked to the rural town to throw their support behind longtime former Member of Parliament Marissa Dalrymple-Philibert. Closely watched and hotly contested, the South Trelawny by-election is quickly taking center stage from a seat once without an MP to one being fought for by at least 3 candidates, one whose party opted out of this contest. Former House Speaker and multiple-term MP Marissa Dalrymple-Philibert stepped away from the seat after an Integrity Commission report recommended criminal charges be laid against her in relation to her statutory declaration. Her nomination proved a welcome-back celebration for the supporters decked in green.
Since the short time I know Mama D, she has done a good work. And since the last election we had, she may win all 4 seats. I am so proud of Mama D. I'm glad she's back, because she's done a very good work so far. And she never leave. Every meeting that we there, she did it. And we did it behind her 100%. Because I did the same thing. Me not give my vote to no PNP. Me don't know what Mama D no do for South Trelawny. Mama D try everything I'll do. When she fix this up, so other people mash it down and say she not do anything. But Mama D, she up there, so skill center is there, where she put there. One down Alps there, so where she put there. And Mama D, she try this. She do send back a lot of kids to school.
I'm truly overwhelmed and humbled
and I'm ready to continue serving the people of South Trelawny.
Talk to us about the moment you decided that yes, I want to serve my people again.
I'll tell you something. The hardest decision I ever made was to resign as Member of Parliament for South Trelawny. It was difficult to resign as the Speaker of the House, but more so, the decision to resign as a Member of Parliament for South Trelawny was the most difficult.
Supporters aside, several Jamaica Labour Party bigwigs and firebrands visited the rural seat, bolstering support for the former MP. Among the elites, Deputy Prime Minister and Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang, North East Manchester MP Audley Shaw, St. Catherine's Southwestern MP Everald Warmington, and Southern St. James MP Homer Davis. She took swipes at her two likely opponents for the seat.
On the last parish council election, which was just in March, he ran for the People's National Party. And today, he's now an independent. So he has been with the Jamaica Labour Party, he has been with the People's National Party, and now he's independent. But hear the true story. The gentleman who now has been named by the People's National Party as their candidate in South Trelawny also worked with me in South Trelawny under the Jamaica Labour Party banner. He was part of my team. He was a transport manager of the Jamaica Labour Party. And I spoke to him. I said, at my age, you're much younger. You'll be here for longer than me. So your time will come to take over for me.
Meanwhile, independent candidate and turncoat Lloyd Muzzy Gillings says, like David, he too intends to topple giants, despite no wins since switching from the JLP to the PNP and now independent. It's left to time and votes to decide who will reign in Trelawny South.
Over the years, this constituency has been neglected. If you look at our roads, it's a disgrace. If you travel from Albertown to Christiana, we see all the breakaways. I've never seen South Trelawny in such a deplorable condition. You know, I know I may be a David, but I believe I'm the right person to bring back South Trelawny and put it back where it used to be.
Patmore is a good man. Two of them are good. So at the same time, it's a neck and neck fight with them. See? You believe in a neck and neck fight? Neck and neck fight, simple. But people love Patmore. People love Mama D. A simple thing. So anything for it. Just simple. I just want me look on it.
The PNP's Paul Patmore, a former JLP member and independent candidate, will contest the general election for the seat, and locals believe the battle will be fierce. After the break, our Wednesday feature, Living the Life with Carlin Brown.
Drink Festivals, Meat Street and the Market is back in partnership with the Port Authority of Jamaica. Saturday, November 9, 3 to 10 p.m. at the historic Naval Dockyard in Port Royal, Kingston. Food trucks, restaurants and chefs galore. Enjoy CB pan chicken, Helsha style fish, gourmet pastas, veggie delights, street eats and so much more. Guided tours, live entertainment and kids zone. Park and ride with JUTC. Meat Street and the Market. Saturday, November 9. Adults 2,000, children under 10 free. Tickets at JA Food and Drink Kitchen on Cork's Constant Spring, Candy Craze Waterloo, CPJ Market and Geno's Pharmacy Portmore. Pay with Visa or buy online at jafoodanddrink.com.
Do whatever the crunch you want with KFC's popcorn chicken. Delicious, juicy, irresistible. Now available in barbecue. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
No more fear of missing out. CVM TV News is on YouTube. Get up-to-date news, sports, and business content at CVM TV News anytime, anywhere. Subscribe now to CVM TV News to see it happen.
KFC's popcorn chicken. Now available in barbecue. KFC, it's finger-licking good. The time by KFC is
7:30. This holiday season, you can make a child in care's dream come true. Create lasting memories.
We invite you to open your hearts and homes this holiday season to a child in care. Take a child home this holiday.
Submit your applications early ahead of the November 29th deadline.
Together, we can make this holiday season brighter for children in care. Join us in making dreams come true.
Take a child home for the holiday program. Apply now at www.childprotection.gov.jm or visit any of our parish offices.
Welcome back. As Living the Life continues to show support for icons of longevity, Carolyn Brown now unveils the moment, a name which, written on the books of many as toddlers, was hoisted as a landmark at a St. Catherine Early Childhood Institution.
Living the life defies time and laws, surpasses storms, hurricanes, wars, recession, pandemics. Like a photo book on the global stage, Jamaica too is documenting.
Fears the posture of the one who wears two hats. One, the company which says it offers security at its best, and men of vision. A group of businesses. Marvin Hayden is a signature to how living the life brings generations closer together. Living the Life shows support for persons who are active in their youth, now as icons of longevity. Coming into the frame is Louise Facey, who eons ago nurtured the lives of children as they hit the school age. From the comfort of her veranda in Fraser's Content, Spanish Town, St. Catherine, perhaps much bigger than most in her neighborhood at the time, and the shaded trees to the front of her yard. However, it was less about the space, but more about love and care for the young that pushed her to pick up the mantle to impart knowledge shortly after her daughter welcomed the toddlers to what began as Miss Lou's basic school.
Yeah, my mother.
Yes, my mother. Barbara Pringle.
Barbara Pringle, okay, that's nice. She started school first and she got a job at the record office. And she had to go to, when they call her now, she handed it over to me. Okay. This is 69.
That was the year before Jamaica's Education Ministry adopted and began adding new dimensions to its early childhood program in 1970. Now, with development, the little school progressed in 1981. There's documented evidence of the ministry's involvement and kind donations. The name also went through a period of changes. No more Miss Lou's Basic, but Fraser's Content Institute, and then the upgrade to Fraser's Content Basic School. Beyond the faded hue of this Polaroid print, the pride of the adults standing behind the graduating class of 1984, the gratification of those moving on to higher learning.
A lot of children was here, Mama? Yes, I have 100 children. Wow. And I have a lot of teachers. We have how many teachers? One, my daughter, my third daughter, she was teaching in there, and Miss Francis. Yes. And Miss Scott. Miss Scott was the last one. She took over. Yes. Yeah, the rest never took over, but she took over. After you.
On this day, the visionary, invited out of long retirement, had eye contact with facts about herself mounted for all to see.
I feel nice about it. Feel nice. I feel good. It's just how I want it. It's just how I want it.
Yes.
Okay.
Just like this.
Yes. Just like this. I want it. Just like this. I told my daughter that I don't want them to talk about putting my picture on it. I don't want me go on it at all. I don't want nobody come here come take me off. No. And I don't want my school children them pass with them. They can come
mess you up
and take me out.
Right. To mark up your face and stuff.
All
right.
this I don't want that. I don't want this. I they wanted to go on here at all. Yes. This is perfect. This is perfect.
The name will live forever.
To me, it is a family legacy. Miss Louise Facey is my aunt's cousin, and so we would want to just to continue by passing it on as Miss Lou's legacy. All right, and so anybody that comes even after me, we would want to welcome them into our Fraser's Content Basic family. We hope that we will gain more students. Miss Lou has talked about the school having over 100 students.
I felt so great when I heard she actually read the sign and can read a sign that clearly at 101. That's so much blessing. So that lady is so blessed. So me being a part of a Men of Vision, being a part of a thing like that with a lady that's so blessed, giving her flowers while she is alive, it couldn't be a better feeling.
I'm Curlin Brown for Living the Life, CVM News.
Like a photo book on the global stage, Jamaica too is documenting rare gems.
Overseas now with regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. In Guyana, Attorney General Anil Nandlal has expressed grave concerns over what he describes as an alarming rate of reversals by the Caribbean Court of Justice (CCJ) of decisions flowing from local courts in Guyana, suggesting this trend could have wider implications for the judicial system in the country. We hear more from Newsroom Guyana.
What is worrying is the alarming rate of reversal which is taking place at the level of the Court of Appeal of Guyana and the Caribbean Court of Justice. I have spoken about this several times, and it must be a cause for worry. In certain types of cases, as I have pointed out repeatedly, there is a 100% reversal. The Court of Appeal rules one way, the CCJ overrules them in a particular category of cases.
In Trinidad, Finance Minister Colm Imbert is hoping to have discussions with the business community and other sectors soon to contemplate whether to change the format for the way foreign exchange is distributed. More from TTT News.
Finance Minister Colm Imbert said there's been an honor system in place for the past 25 years, which determines how forex is distributed.
Where it is expected that the banks would exercise responsibility, exercise equity, justice, and all that sort of thing in the distribution.
In the past few weeks, the business community has issued various statements on the issue of access to foreign exchange, and now Minister Imbert said he will be meeting with them to discuss the way forward.
So we are going to talk to the Chambers of Commerce, the TTMA, and various other interest groups and ask them whether they believe this honor system that has been in force for the last 25 years should change into a more regulated and a more structured thing, whereby the central bank would now have categories of distribution for foreign exchange, and I expect I'll be able to complete those discussions maybe by the end of this year.
And in international news, Donald Trump's election victory was driven by domestic issues, but its consequences will reach far beyond U.S. borders, with wars in the Middle East and Europe, and tensions high with China. How is his victory being received around the world? Al Jazeera provides the latest.
Trump says he wants to end wars, including the one in Ukraine, where his win is being met with unease. U.S. support is vital for the fight against Russia. In office, he was severely critical of NATO, saying the U.S. was paying too much and other members too little. And there was even speculation he might withdraw from the alliance. Congratulating Trump on his election win, the foreign minister of Germany, which has strongly backed Ukraine, indicated that a new security relationship may be needed.
Für mich, für uns ist klar. For me, for us, it is clear that we Europeans will now have to take on even more security policy responsibility. Today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. For ourselves, for our children.
Orville joins us with